For 300 years, the Principality of New Antioch has stood defiantly as the focal point of the church and the faithful at the very edge of the shadow cast by the gate of hell. It is the home of all of our hopes, the bulwark against heretic forces, and the first line of defense against the devil's might. Should New Antioch fall, all of the Levant will be lost. War has never left this corner of the world. The ancient city of Antioch was destroyed by a mysterious demonic weapon in the year of 1545, but the faithful never gave up their positions in the ruins. Despite the lethal demonic essence emanating from the crater that was left behind, the garrison held on, even as Constantinople fell to the legions of Chimaris, the Marquis of Hell. Before it was destroyed, the ancient city of Antioch was always the first line of defense to be put to test. Thus, it is no wonder that in the year 1559, the Sword Congress of Vienna agreed to rebuild and fortify the city, and that a yearly tithe is to be sent to New Antioch by all the faithful nations, though this levy is rarely in the form of coin. Instead, endless supply trains of foodstuffs, tools, ammunition, weaponry, machinery, and skilled workers and engineers come from across Europa and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as the African dominions. Keeping the supply routes open is a constant game of cat and mouse, as heretic infiltrators and raiders harry the caravans and ships that allow the principality to exist to this day. Since those days, New Antioch has grown to be the most important fortress city in the world, the sword and the shield of both Europa and Africa. All the princes of the church and heads of the various states and domains who oppose hell understand that it is better to fight their battles against the heretics away from their heartlands. To this day, New Antioch has withstood 8 great sieges, and its famed walls, with their 77 mighty towers, have never been breached. This is partly due to hundreds of anchorites, metallic battle shrines with devoted entombed within them that are embedded into the walls, keeping a vigilant watch day and night. More than anything else, it is the volunteers who come to serve under the banner of Christ that ensure the continuous existence of the principality. Thus, in the streets of the city, one can hear hundreds of languages and dialects. One might observe hussars of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth brushing shoulders with the last remnants of the Varangian Guard, or hear the sermons of a street preacher from Ayr extolling the soldiery of Ethiopia to lay down their lives for the cause. Perhaps they might even witness the church engineer's procession taking their latest invention to be tested on the front lines. This all happens under the watchful eyes of the Office of Propagation of Virtue that tirelessly patrols the streets. While they are quite happy to turn a blind eye to the revelries of soldiers, they ferociously persecute even the slightest deviation from church doctrine. The execution of heretics is a weekly spectacle that draws immense crowds. Factories spew black smoke as newly constructed tanks roll out of the workshops. Foundries burn white hot day and night in order to keep the artillery battalions, the pride and joy of New Antioch, at full strength. In the techno laboratory of the city, the church toils away in creating the superhuman communicants, empowered by the cloned flesh and blood of the Redeemer. Thousands of workers give their lives in horrific accidents and overwork each year, and great statues celebrating their sacrifices stand around the city. Despite all these preparations, it is a grim reality that New Antioch could never withstand the full onslaught of the combined heretic forces. It is only thanks to the ferocious and bloody internal conflict amongst the devils that has allowed the principality to stand to this day. The archdevils and princes of hell bicker and plot against each other, and rarely does one of them gain supremacy for long enough to mount a full-scale invasion. Even though the war has stretched for centuries, with decades of nervous lull between great battles, the rulers of Hell are immortal, and to them, the war has barely even started. They are beings that have existed before there was time and wish to savor the agony of the mortals who die in their millions. And thus, the Great War rages on, sometimes with long years of silence, followed by sudden, ferocious assaults. As the nominal supreme commander of all the faithful armed forces, the Duke of New Antioch is a title of unrivaled prestige and honor. Despite swearing fealty to the Duke, in reality, troops who come to do battle against Hell from across all of Christendom operates in units of their own, taking commands from their own leaders. It is worth noting that some soldiers renounce their citizenship and take up the cross and come to serve under Duke Constantine alone. Thus, the standing army of the Principality is the greatest single fighting force the faithful can muster, and those who serve on the walls of the Home of Hopes are rightfully proud of their livery. In recent years, the Duke has dispatched more forces into no man's land to gather intelligence, look for artifacts of power, conduct raids on heretic forces, secure strategic strongpoints, and loot the battlefields for the wealth of coin and weaponry scattered across the tortured landscape that stretches between New Antioch and the heretic domains over the centuries. These warbands must raise their own coin and are simply given commission by the Duke and have to muster their own forces. However, holy relics, great wealth and fame across all the world ensures that there is a steady supply of ambitious leaders who are willing to risk all in the crucible of war. Competition for loot, supplies, artifacts, and information is fierce, and these warbands often come to blows not just with heretical forces, but with competing rivals and crazed trench pilgrims. Thus the necropolis of Antioch overflows with the graves of fallen soldiers, but the proud flag of the Principality, blue as the sea and red as blood, still flows over its ramparts. But for how long is anyone's guess. All the portents and reports of the scouting parties confirm one thing. The heretics are marshalling for the largest offensive operation in history. The board is set and the pieces are moving. The Great War is beginning anew. As always, big thanks goes out to the Hunters Lounge, specifically the exclusive Johnny Sevens, the exclusive Beach Boy, the exclusive War Monk, the exclusive The Cayure, and the exclusive Rat. The VIPs, Povo Bear Slayer, Derivative, Doug Powell, Gino Lucero, Goose, Hambone, Jimeno Bob, Corey Peterson, Michael Furnell, Mortev Menace, Mr. Mouse, Ryan, Hein, Slip, Stas Biestek, Sunrise Phoenix, TJ Crane, Texas Toast, and the Wizard of Copper. And of course, all the regulars. If you like the content I produce and would like to support the channel, consider signing up as a member on the Patreon for as little as $1 a month. The link is in the description below. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.